Contra. I think this is the best game on the Nintendo. And by the cover art, you can see it's heavily influenced by the movie Predator, which is also one of my all-time favorite movies. At school, we always argued who was on the cover of this cartridge. We could always agree that the guy on the left is Arnold Schwarzenegger, but who is the guy on the right? Some people would say it's Michael Biehn or Sylvester Stallone as Rambo, but it's neither of these. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger again. Look at the back. You can see it's the same guy. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, I think I've settled that grade 6 argument once and for all. Okay, let's play this. As the title screen rolls in, yep, you guessed it, it's Konami code time. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start, or select start. I'll never forget this code, ever. You drop straight into the action like Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm playing with my 10-year-old son today, so expect a lot of dying. He's only played this a couple times. This is probably going to be like when I first started playing this game in the late 1980s. There is nothing better than playing this game in 2-player mode. The game is so good that you actually feel like you're a commando racing through all the levels. You can shoot in every direction, there's no silly deaths from poor programming, and you feel that the difficulty is reasonable and fair. The game is all about practice, over and over again. The weapons are great, the machine gun, I really like this one because you can just hold down the B button. There's a flamethrower, it's okay. It's powerful and flails around a bit, so you can hit multiple targets. The laser is probably my least favorite, but it's crazy powerful. But you can only shoot one beam at once. If you keep firing, you just get these little short bursts everywhere. The best of the lot, of course, is the spread gun. This is awesome, and you can absolutely pepper the whole screen, and you feel like you're on top of the world when you have it. But there's nothing worse than that feeling when you lose the spread gun. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy. Oh. Ah. No. Why? What I also really like about this game is when you jump, you curl up into this tiny little ball to avoid any incoming projectiles. With a bit of practice, you can avoid almost anything. Moving on to the levels, the first boss really isn't a boss, it's a jungle base entrance. I think everyone does this. Get the guy on the roof first, then the cannons, then attack that big red dot. I think the first level really eases you into the game. Stage 2, you're in the jungle base and the whole projection changes. You run through this long corridor, destroying various walls on the way. Try not to push forward in the combat sections or you just get zapped by these random electric lines. It's so annoying when you touch them, it paralyzes you for a few seconds, leaving you very vulnerable to attack. I think this level design is a nice change from the first level, and my son and I really didn't die too often in this section. Mostly because there wasn't any jumpy bits or pits to fall into. In the last room, I always like to destroy the 2 gun turrets first, before destroying the red dots. When you destroy the red dots, the stage 2 boss appears, which is like a blue Kermit the Frog. Once he's defeated, up the elevator, and onto the waterfall level. Stage 3, Contra, changes it up again. This time, it's a vertical level. You just simply race the top, which isn't too bad when you're by yourself, but when 2 people are involved, it can turn into an absolute nightmare, especially if they're not very experienced. Slowing down for the other player can put your rhythm off and lead to deaths from enemies you ordinarily would have just blown past. But if you go too fast, the player at the bottom will die when he touches the bottom of the screen. If this does happen, I find myself jumping up really quickly while they respawn to try to speed the process up to the top. And what is the story with these moving flames on this bridge? When you finally get to the top, the boss looks like the alien queen from the 1986 movie Aliens. Look at it. It's got to have taken some inspiration from this movie. It's just the same. Saying that, this is my favorite boss in the game. Great design, and would probably give children nightmares back in the 1980s. Like everyone, attack the arms first, then go for the head. The second base level is very similar to the first base level. There really isn't much to say. The boss in this level looks like the Autobots logo or Optimus Prime's head. I don't know. What do you think? The boss attacks you with bubbles. Really? Bubbles? Oh no! Lethal bubbles! Get him off me! Get him off me! Okay, enough of that foolishness. Defeat the boss and you're treated to another elevator ride. Stage 5 is the snowfield. What I really find annoying about this level is the gunners. They're always catching me out. I'm too busy to complete the level as quickly as possible and I'm not paying attention. They just always catch me out. Oh, why? I always loved getting to these armored vehicles and destroying them too. The boss is some sort of UFO. Pretty easy, especially if you've got the laser weapon. Stage 6 is the energy zone. This is where things get tough. Those flames coming out of everywhere, the walls, the ceiling, and at times you don't expect. We got hammered. So many lives were lost on this first flame. It was crazy. In fact, we had to use a continue here. Jeez, our 30 lives weren't enough. We would have no chance if we played this normally. Then there's this part. The concept is really simple. When the flame goes out, then you jump onto the next level. Why is this so hard? I have no idea. What's so annoying, if you don't let go of the down button soon enough, you jump downwards instead of upwards and land right into the flame. Getting onto this first platform on the down section is also a nightmare. This level teaches you patience. The boss on this stage is a giant robot with his giant jukebox. I'm here with 1 life. This is gonna be close. Whew. Did it. That was intense. Stage 7 is the hangar. Not to be confused with the first level of Doom. That's what I always think of. Anyway, this level's full of these crushing spikes like you see in Double Dragon 2. One thing I always love doing in this level is jumping on this spike wall. And the traps. There's this really cool trap here where you're working your way through the spikes, and then this spike wall appears. Then you need to destroy the spike wall as dodging the spikes coming from overhead. I thought this was such a great idea. The end boss of this level is a door. Yes, it's just a door. I've never had to fight a door before as a boss. The final stage is the aliens' lair. This reminds me of that scene in Aliens where the colonial marines go down to the processing station to find the colonists. The first thing you need to defeat is this huge alien creature, which is also inspired by the xenomorph in Aliens. He attacks you with large shrimps. It's so cool defeating this guy. The midsection of the level, you just get peppered by these lethal snowflakes. I just told my son to keep pushing through this section and ignore all these mouths. It's not worth getting caught up in that snowstorm. Now we start seeing all these face huggers, also inspired by the movie Aliens. And here we are, the final boss, a giant heart. My son couldn't believe a heart could be a boss. I think this was similar to my reaction when I first got here. What I like to do is clear out these cocoons at the bottom before attacking the heart. I love how the heart beats faster the more damage it takes. And that's it. The heart blows up and you beat the game. High five! Anyway, great game. In the future, I'll probably reduce the number of games I own, but I think I'll always keep this cartridge in my collection. You just can't say anything bad about this game. It's perfection. Well, I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane and listening to one of my favorite memories on the Nintendo. See you next time.